for the changes, I expect a huge growth in demand. For starting with the public healthcare center, I expect them to maybe start having storing their vaccines because there is constant access to electricity now. In terms of the children, I expect a better and enhanced life. I expect increased digital access, with the spread of the StarTimes decoder, StarTimes TV, and things of that nature. I expect people to be more informed, watch news from your house and things like that. And then on the commercial side, I expect a lot of new businesses to come up, right? With each season that comes up, each rainy season, each harvest season, each dry season, new businesses. And that so much growth, there's a potential for so much more.
Listen, let me tell you a story. In the rural heart of Nasarawa, silence used to be a luxury. For decades, the only sound after sunset was the rhythmic, choking thrum of diesel generators. This is Ugede Kasa, a community of strivers, farmers and students held hostage by a grid that never arrived.
But before, no light. If you just come inside time, you don't see any security bulb outside. But now we are enjoying.
If there is no electricity, children can't go outside to sit and chat. But when there is electricity, they can stay outside talking till around 12. Tonight, we witness the end of an era, the end of the noise and the birth of another kind of power.
When you look at the rural communities, you look at how much they earn and what their need is. They actually need electricity, but they can't afford it. So it's a basic challenge.
Nigeria is a paradox, a global energy giant where 80 million citizens are not absolutely sure of access to electricity. The national grid, a centralized behemoth, is suspected of being under siege. It failed 16 times in 2025 alone.
For the average Nigerian business, electricity isn't a utility, it's a battle. About $16 billion is spent annually just to keep small generators humming. It's a task on our potential and a burden on our breath.
At the same time, when you're running on gen, you still have to depend on grid, because it is when there is no NEPA, that's when you switch on to the generator, right? You have to buy diesel. You know how much diesel is. You have to service your generator. You have to maintain your generator. Maybe after a month or thereabout, depending on usage, you have to do your overhauling, change some parts,
But look beyond our borders. From the solar plains of Rajasthan to the wind fans of the North Sea, the world is moving. Renewable energy is no longer a green dream. It's one of the most aggressive economic shifts of the 21st century.
Nigeria can switch from having a solar installation as a backup power plant to a major power plan, a major power project. That there are countries that have switched from maybe using hydroelectric power and using maybe other forms to generate electricity to really exploring the solar industry. The why I said that is because, every day the sun comes out. And that's all you need. Once you can get your panels and there is sunlight, then definitely you get electricity.
As solar module prices plummet by 80%, the question for Nigeria changed from, can we afford to switch? To, can we afford not to?
The answer came in the form of a bold $750 million commitment. Project Darius, the distributed access through renewable energy scale-up, managed by the Rural Electrification Agency. This isn't just subsidy, it's a mission.
The goal is staggering. 17.5 million lives impacted, 1,350 mini-grids, a total replacement of the polluting engines that have defined our past. Implementation required a new kind of partnership.
The solar industry, it will encourage investors to invest their money. It will also help the government to be able to partner with private firms in public-private partnership. They can have such partnerships that can help the end users.
STARTIMES, a giant digital media, stepped into the arena of energy. Why? Because the modern grid isn't just wires, it's data.
STARTIMES has been known to bring information and digital exposure to rural and African citizens in general. So one of the major hindrance to bringing this information and digital technology to the rural community is power infrastructure. So picture a rural customer that has a decoder and a TV, but there's no light. How does he watch? The subscription would expire, and then they won't be keen. So we looked into the future, and with the rate of electricity access in Nigeria and the skills we bring, so we decided to pivot into the energy space.
In Ugede Kasa, we have built a smart hybrid system. It's a complex dance of silicon, lithium, and software, ensuring that every watt of Nasarawa sunlight is captured, stored, and accounted for.
If customer, when I recharge, if the light has not dropped, I'll still follow him to his house and drop the light. But it's not all customer, because some customer have their own app, which is OPay. But me, I can recharge through STARTIMES app. So when they recharge through their OPay, if the light has not dropped, they'll still come to me, then I'll pick out the token number and give it to them. They'll still go and press their CIU so that the light will be dropped.
The first sign of the revolution was the water. Solar-powered boreholes now pump clean water without the need for a single drop of fuel.
I just narrate everything the way that I started with this star before generator. As they connect this light, they give me meter for this borehole. In fact, as we connect it, I'm very happy. I'm achieving.
For the operators, the diesel tax has vanished. Their profit margins are finally breathing.
20,000 to go buy fuel for use for fuel the generator. Sometimes will take me 3 days or 4 days. But if you come out this 20,000 for this solar to recharge my light, sometimes right from this season now, will take me a week plus before the cat will finish.
As the sun dips, the miracle begins. The shopping kiosks stay open.
Before the solar, we are spending a lot for the lights, charging the bulb for the business. At times when you charge the thing, it's not well charged. Before the time you want to close, the light will trip off. You will not do more business again. Because of that, no light again. You can close before the time you wanted to close. But now that there is solar, in fact, we are enjoying it. You can stay as much longer as you want.
Cold drinks, once a fantasy in the heat of Nasarawa, are now a standard commodity. Honestly, there is a big difference. Sometimes NEPA can go 3 to 4 days without bringing electricity. But with solar, as long as you have credit, that's it. And anyone who runs a business, if they don't want their business to stop, if they truly care about their business, they won't want to be without electricity, especially in this kind of trade. Safety has returned to the streets. The night economy is no longer a privilege of the city. It's a new reality of the village.
Normally, the other time, we are not sleeping here. We are not doing night duty. But since we have these lights, we are sleeping here and we are doing our night duty here. So we really thank God for the lights, seriously, because we are using the lights, pump water, on fan, and charge our phone. So we really thank you so much.
Perhaps the most moving sight is found under the solar streetlights. We call it light views. Here, students gather not just to talk, but to study. In the glow of clean energy, a generation is preparing for JAMB, for university, and for a world where they are no longer defined by what they lack. We go to farm and don't come back early, especially during the dry season. Even if we return late at night, there is electricity and we can continue preparing food for the children to eat before they sleep. But when there is no electricity, before we even finish cooking, the children would have already fallen asleep. You yourself won't even enjoy the meal.
In the community before, some people they are selling provision. They don't have fridge inside their shop, but now everybody have fridge inside the shop in community now. If you don't get fridge in your house, you feel buy cold things inside the provision inside town. So we are enjoying it inside our town.
This wasn't just a technical feat, it was a legal one. The 2023 Electricity Act changed the game, allowing states to own their energy destiny. It opened doors for private capital to flow from where the national grid feared to tread.
Yes, I think it's a very good initiative by the government. If the government is partnering with REA, we have to see that the policies are actually working. And these policies, when it is new, you may not have confidence in it. So the government has to see that this policy is implemented and it is actually working. There has to be a lot of public awareness, like you need to enlighten the people in the rural communities about what they stand to gain if, they opt for this kind of solution.
But what happens after the lights come on? Reliable power is the hardware of a nation. It allows for the software of human talent to run. A young coder in Nasarawa can now compete with a peer in Lagos or London. The digital divide is finally closing, powered by the sun.
During the daytime, the inverter has some smart features. It can help you channel that energy from the panels to power the customers directly, or it can also channel that power to charge the battery. So in the evenings, when the sun is down, the inverter takes that stored charge from the battery to power the community. Now, in terms of hybrid, no system is complete, right, on its own. Everybody needs a support system. So that's where the generator comes in. So in times, picture when it's raining for 5 hours during the day, right, the solar panels will not be so efficient. So that is when the diesel generator can come in. So having the diesel generator, the inverter, the battery, and the solar panels gives you a system that is not redundant, right? So you have 24 hours electricity.
By 2030, the Darius project will have scrambled millions of tons of carbon from our skies. It is Nigeria's contribution to the global fight. We are proving that you can grow an economy without darkening the sky. We are leapfrogging the industrial mistakes of the past.
When the panel are dust, to take care of it is a work of the security. You wash the panel, you sweep, or you make sure you keep the environment clean. Check on these all these maintenance of the transformers and the generator and the offices.
Maybe their lights will cease for breaker, either bulb. They fit colors and we'll do it free, the way STARTIMES said it. I don't they collect anything for them.
Ugede Kasa is just the beginning. 1,350 communities, 17.5 million lives, one sun. From the physics of the solar cell to the prosperity of the small shop owner, the narrative has shifted. The price of darkness was too high. The value of light, it's immeasurable. Nigeria's future is no longer waiting for the grid. It's building its own.
In a world of constant noise, we provide the signal. This is Tech Mode on NTA, your premier gateway to the innovators, the distributors, and the architects of Nigeria's digital future. Whether you're scaling up a startup or powering a community, your story deserves the Tech Mode lens. We don't just report on the future, we help you see it. Reach out, let's tell your story to the audience that matters. Tech Mode, no one tells the story like us.